Hello everyone, my name is Dorian and welcome to another track guide with the F3. We are at Donington GP and this is actually a really fun combo. I'm quite surprised. I don't usually like driving here, but this car makes it work. You're flying. It's a lot of fun. Now I've made a setup. It's based on iRacing's baseline, and if you like it, if it helps you at all, if the track guide helps you, please leave a like, subscribe, let me know in the comments what you think. Hop over to my Discord where you can also find the setup. I'm just going to show you guys the lap real quick, and then we're going to go over it corner by corner. See you on the track. Okay, so we're coming up to turn number one. First thing we're going to do is we're going to cross the white line nice and gentle. You don't want to overdo it at first because you'll get a time penalty. But towards the end of it, right before this blue cone, we're already going to put, I don't know, about 60% of the car across it. So we can maximize our approach for turn number one. Very tricky corner. If you're running cold tires, you're going to get a lot of understeer. Running warm tires, you're going to get some oversteer. So in this specific situation, I'm trying to avoid oversteer. You'll see it in a second. I'm going to start braking about 50 meters before this white line. No real other reference that I can think of here. It's also a good indication because you're already looking in this direction. So keep that in mind. 60% at peak. Downshifting from 6th into 4th. After this white line is when I'm going to really start asking from the front tires to turn the car in. As you can see, I'm getting tons of rotation here, so I'm just going to let go of everything, let the car carry the speed. And as I approach the apex, I'm going to start accelerating because I don't want to mount this curb too much. You can see there's this little step here from the dirt to the curb. You don't want your front tire to hit it. It's going to upset the car. You want to be very gentle with that. And around 50% now, 60, 70%, being very gradual, not trying to accelerate too quickly out of the corner, just trying to carry the speed, using all of the curb on the way out, and you're through. Now just taking a short route here, nothing special, just cutting the curbs, and that can be up to half a tenth, so it's quite important to do that. Now as we approach the end of the dirty part of the tarmac here, we're going to start braking from 6th into 4th gear, peaking at around 35%, 40%-ish. And as we approach this curb, we kind of decelerate into it. And we're going to start turning in as we hit it. Downshift now into 5th. Getting a nice early turn in so I can be early on the power. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to overshoot into the inside and then let the power carry me away from it. Sort of understeer me away from it. I've done a lot at Laguna Seca. It really helps carry the speed on the straight. So you're very early on the throttle. You kind of want to understeer here. So you will be able to be very early on the power. Get as much rotation early. And that'll help you out a lot. Using all the curb on the way out, you can actually put a wheel here. It's not a problem. Not even a 1X. Cutting it nicely. Again, taking a short route. Going all the way to the outside. So I can line the car up nice and straight for the next braking point. I'm going to start braking right as this curb ends on the left. From 6th into 5th. No, sorry. Into 4th gear. around, I would say, 50% peak and immediate release. I'm not trying to break into this corner. I'm trying to carry the speed and be very gentle. Look at how little I'm asking for from the front tires at this point. I'm just trying to kind of let the car know I'm going to put it under a lot of load in a second. So I'm doing it nice and slowly. Trail braking into it. Fourth gear. Car is already kind of neutral at this point. And I'm going to look for the acceleration point right before the apex. So pretty aggressive, already at 70%. And from 70 to 100, there's a little bit of hesitation. I'm waiting just a tiny bit for the wheel to kind of straighten out a little bit more, so I won't get over rotation on the exit. It does have a tendency to do that. Using all of the curb on the way out. And we're through. Next corner, very tricky. You really need to practice here to get a good reference. There's nothing visual here that might tell you everything you need to know and exactly when to brake and exactly when to turn in. It's all one blind corner. But I am looking at this sign to the right here because I'm looking for the apex and it's sort of in that vicinity. So as I can see, about halfway, about half of the sign, I'm going to start braking. So right around here, using all the curb on the way in. And as I can see all of the sign, I'm going to start to turn in. So as you can see, the uphill section kind of levels out. That's also an indication of when you want to start to turn in, so right before it. Peaking around 60%, immediate release into fourth gear. And I'm trying to cut this curb as much as I can without getting off track. Already on the power here, so look at how early I'm starting to implement the throttle. As I can see, I'm going to make it into the corner. At this point, as the car levels out, I'm going to start accelerating. 50-60%. As I hit the curb, I'm going to go back to 100. Half of the car is on the curb or beyond it. So I got the right wheel on the dirt here. And I'm going to start accelerating more and more into 100%. You can use all of the road on the way out. It's not a problem. It's not going to cost you any time. It's just that I might have been able to take it a little bit faster here. Looking for a braking point. This is a very fast chicane. You want to be brave here. Not much of visual reference. You want to brake late here, that's for sure. You can see it kind of dips down as it levels out. Right around here where I'm pointing with my mouse. That's where you want to brake, give or take. I'm going to brake around 80% peak and immediate release. From 6th into 4th, I'm trying to reduce the speed as much as I can in the shortest time possible. Kind of surprised myself with the 80%. I don't usually go that high. Now, already back on the power before the apex. As I can see, I'm already kind of aiming towards these pillars here. You aim towards these pillars, you can hit them. There's no hitbox there, so you can hit them, no problem. Around 70%. 65. Trying to avoid too much understeer because it's very easy to get an off track on the second apex. Back to 100%, about halfway through. Still in fourth gear. I'm hitting these guys. That's where I want to be every time. And using all of the curb on the way out. Not trying to adjust the car too quickly. It remains open on exit, so you don't have to try too hard. Now, looking for a braking point here, that's very tricky. You'll be in either 5th or 6th gear, depending on how much speed you carried in the previous chicane. So, you want to brake very late here. You don't want to brake too early. You don't want to scrub the speed off. So I'm braking right as it begins to go downhill. Right around this area where it starts to step down. Again, 75-ish peak. This is the first time I've ever braked so hard with this car, I think. And immediate release into around 65%. All the way down into first gear, I'm going to start asking for more and more turn in as I reduce the brake pressure. And there's two ways to go about it. This is a double apex hairpin. So a lot of people like to intentionally miss the first apex to try to carry more speed on the entry. I understand that method. I like to really rotate the car nicely and break the speed down so I can hug the curb the whole way through and take a short route. To each his own, I guess. This way works better for me. I think this is faster, at least for my driving style. Some people might prefer to miss the first apex. So about halfway through the curb, we're already going to accelerate from first gear. 50%, 40, 50%. The car has a tendency to snap here, so you really want to be gentle with your initial input. As the wheel straightens out, second and third gear, all the way to the outside, using the curb. And you're through. Final corner, very tricky. I can never do this corner. I can never do it the same. It's always a little bit different every time I go through it. I always brake right before, I would say about 10 meters before the end of this curb. Give or take 15 meters, I don't know, something like that. Braking very hard for a short period of time. From, I think, 4th or 5th gear into 2nd. I shortened the 2nd gear in this car so I won't have to take, in the setup, I mean, so I won't have to take this corner in first. First is really inconsistent here. Now the problem is I might have braked a bit too late or a bit too hard on initially, so I started to lose the rear end here. You can see I'm kind of correcting it, try not to lose it. And that caused me, because of that correction, it caused me to turn in a bit too late, and I missed the apex. So you get a very late apex here. This is not your apex. You want to miss it. You want to carry the speed from the outside, and you want to clip this part nicely. So you want to put your left wheel right around here. If it wasn't for that little bit of oversteer on entry, it wouldn't have been a problem. So at this point, my rear tires are hot as hell. I'm giving about 50% throttle. And as I open up the wheel, I'm going to smack it back to 100%. And I'm going to lose the rear end, have a little bit of a drift to the outside here. A little bit of a hero moment. Managed to save it. Well, only lost about half a tenth for it, so it wasn't a big deal. And you're through. That will give us a 120.162. Hope you guys enjoyed this track guide. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, let me know in the comments what you think. Hop over to my Discord as well. Have a great day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.